Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we talk about mangas and sometimes books. For today's video, I have the reading log for the month of September, and I didn't read a lot that month. I read a total of 6 volumes, so there's a bit to talk about, so let's get started. So starting off, I read this first volume of The Flying Witch. This is by Chihiro Ishizuka. Here is the front cover, here is the back, and since I only read the first volume, there's not much for me to say about it. It's just we basically follow this teenage witch who has recently moved into the family home of some relatives, and she has moved into this new place because this place is closer to nature, and her being a witch, she wants to explore that nature, use that nature to enhance her magical abilities. And that's basically what this first volume is about. We just see her on her day-to-day with being a witch, and this is her familiar. She has a cat, and that's pretty much all there is to this first volume. I'm not sure if we get a plot as the volumes go on, but I did really enjoy this one. This is really cute, really wholesome, and really cozy. It is very slice of life, so if you enjoy reading that, I 100% recommend this one. I really liked it, but I think I'm going to take my time with collecting this manga. I don't feel like a lot of pressure when it comes to buying this manga, unlike the other ones that I'm about to talk about. So yeah, again, I recommend this to anyone who wants to read a cozy, witchy, slice of life type of manga. I recommend this one. And I also ended up reading When I Became a Commoner. They Broke Off Our Engagement. This is also the first volume, and this is art is by Kenshi Oiwa, original story by Kaoru Takanashi, and character design by Kaya Kuramoto. So here is the front cover and the inside cover, and I really like this manga. I feel like, unlike the other one, I feel more pressure to get this one, to continue reading this manga and buying the volumes, because in this one we follow 2 babies at the beginning, and those 2 babies have been born at the same time. Now during that time, we have 2 fairies who are looking over those babies, and one of them, being true to the nature of fairies, is trying to play a trick on the parents of these 2 babies. And so what he does is he switches the babies around. So one of them was the baby of a common family, like peasant family, and the other one was a baby that came from a rich background, so like aristocrat family. And that's how it happens. That's the beginning of the story. And then we learn that when they turned 15, 16, I don't remember the exact age, this fairy is supposed to come to them and let them know who their real family is. Now our main character, which is this girl right here, and you guys know I forgot her name, but she meets this other fairy, the friend of the trickster one, and he basically tells her ahead of time that she is not the real daughter of this rich family she's currently living with. And so throughout this first volume, we see her struggle and trying to come up with the idea of whether or not she should be the one to tell her family that they're not really related. And it's really interesting because at the same time, you see that she's being sent to this boarding school, and everything is going to be paid off by her family, of course. But towards the end of the story, there's the whole reveal that she's not their real daughter, and at the same time they meet their real daughter, who has the same power as the family. So within this story, some characters or families do have magical powers, and in the family that she was left at, their powers were of healing, but she had none of those, obviously, because she was not part of the family. And so that's why it was very obvious that she wasn't part of her family. And now with when I became a commoner, they broke off our engagement is because she is married. She's supposed to be marrying this guy, but of course, now that she's no longer part of the family, their marriage is going to be broken off. And this is everything that happens in this first volume. I really cannot wait to read the second one. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with her, how she deals with not living in this like comfort life that she has been used to, and now being switched to the life of a commoner, as well as to see the life of this other girl who has been living as a commoner. I also want to see like her perspective of things now that she's no longer going to be part of like a small, very very small town, and now being switched into the daughter of a very wealthy family. I cannot wait to get to the second volume, and I 100% recommend this one. This also has it's very magical, and it has really high stakes, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. Next up, I also read Colette Decides to Die. This is the first omnibus edition. This is by Alto Yukimura. Here is the front cover and the inside. So in this one, we follow Colette, who is the healer of this very very small town, and she has been working. She's the only healer in this town, so she is in charge of healing everyone basically. And so at the beginning of the story, she's tired of basically keeping everyone alive, and she's ready to take a break. That's when she sees this well, and she's like, I really want to go take a break, and like I'm willing to jump into this well to take it. And then she hears that commotion, someone's looking for her, and with a misstep she ends up going inside the well. Now this well takes her to the underworld, the world of Hades. I was not expecting for us to be the gods to be like Greek mythology gods. I actually have no idea what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. And yeah, throughout this first volume, we see her interacting with Hades, because Hades at the moment has a medical condition where he has been burned, and so Colette decides to take on Hades as her new patient. And we see her going back and forth with going back into town and going back to meeting Hades. And through all of that, we see her healing other Greek mythology characters. And yeah, I really enjoyed this first volume. I really cannot wait to continue with the second one. Again, I really was not expecting the whole Greek gods type of thing, but it was a good surprise. And yeah, I recommend this to anyone who also wants to read something magical but a bit different with like the twist of the Greek mythology. And yeah, obviously there's going to be romance between Colette and Hades. And yeah, I 100% recommend this one as well. I also ended up reading some BL, and the first one I have here is The Dangerous Convenience Store. Now, this is the first volume, and there's only 5 in total, so I don't feel like I should talk a lot about this fourth volume because it's going to spoil a bit of this story. But just know that The Dangerous Convenience Store is a very great manhwa, BL manhwa. I 100% recommend this story, the pining, the love, the romance that these two characters go through is absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to get the 5th volume. And I 100% recommend this to anyone that hasn't read The Dangerous Convenience Store. Please read it, please give it a try. I think everyone that reads The Dangerous Convenience Store never regrets reading it. So yeah, 100% recommend this one. and I plan to do like a full review on all the volumes once I have the 5th one. I also read Hatsuko Note. This is the 1st volume. This is by Mekiri. Here is the front cover, which is really beautiful. There's something about this cover that like really gets to me, I don't know. And here is at the back. So, and the inside we have some color illustrations, and here is another cover. So we basically follow Shoja, and he one day is going through his phone and he finds this like online diary of a person, and so he threw out like little details that are written in that diary. He realizes that this person goes to the same school as him, and so now that he has figured that out, he kind of like starts looking around to see who might be the writer of this diary, and that's when he realizes that is this classmate who always keeps to himself, this guy. And yeah, he starts to see him, but he has this completely wrong idea where he thinks that this guy is in love with his friend, and so he's always trying to get them two together, but there's a plot that happens there. And yeah, I think this was really cute. It was really wholesome. It did have a bit of like this very dark side. Something happened to him, and I really wish we could have explored that aspect of the story. It just felt like the author just came up with that, added into the plot, but never really did anything to it. It was just like there. Yeah, that's why as the story between the two characters, it's really cute, it's really wholesome, but I wish we could have explored or like gone a bit into detail as to that area of the story. Well, not detail, but like explore a little bit more onto how that event affected the other character, which you guys know I don't remember. Oh, Tsubame. Yeah, okay, so it's Tsubame and Ryo. This is Ryo and this is Tsubame. I really wish we could have explored how that event affected Tsubame, but overall it was a really cute, wholesome story, and I recommend. Next up, I also read this one shot. This is Wanna Be My Dress Up Lover. This is by Mamita, and this being a one shot, again, I don't feel like there's a lot I can say about it without giving a lot of spoilers. Plus, it is BL, it is very erotic. It is by Mamita. She is the best at what she does. Mamita has never disappointed me in any way. Also, this cover. I loved it. Yeah, so we basically follow two guys who work in the same company, and one of them has a secret. Mabe Shiro. So this is Mabe and this is Kuro. So Mabe, they work at the same company. They work at a travel agency company, and the thing is, Mabe has a secret, and that is that he likes to work at a maid cafe, and where they have to dress up in this way. And then one day, out of nowhere, Kuro shows up at his side job, and now he's like panicking, like, oh no, Kuro knows my secret. What am I going to do? I need to keep this a secret. He might reveal this at our other job, and that might be a problem for me. But little does he know is that Kuro is not going to tell anyone. He's actually going to keep it a secret, but with a condition that Mame, they get together, have a little bit of private time. I really enjoyed this story. I feel like the romance itself is really cute. It's a bit wholesome. It is very explicit, so do keep that in mind if you want to read it. And again, Mamita never disappoints. So yeah, I recommend this one to anyone who wants to read anything by Mamita and you're basically used to her stories. So yeah, with that being said, that was all I read in the month of September, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it has taken me a while to come back with videos, but as I mentioned last week, I was really sick And the first thing that I always gets really bad for me whenever I get a cold is my throat. I end up not having the ability to speak for an entire week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.